Hi, this is James Scott, born in the Bayou. In this episode, we're going to be doing a review of Pitch and Planks by Plakks Entertainment. This is for ages 3 to 99. It could be any amount of players. Obviously, probably around 3 or 4 is probably ideal, but you can have as many as you want because everybody just basically takes a turn. If you ever played mini golf, this is what this is a little flick'em mini golf game where there's enough pieces in here they supposedly can make over 100 different combinations. Let's say it comes in the box, but it also comes with a bag. And this is probably one of the, right off the bat, we'll start with one of my things I like and dislike about the game. I like that it comes in this nice, it's a cheap little backpack bag. I like the fact that it comes with that, but the part I hate is it comes in the box, but you'll never get it back in this box. Unless every time you're going to spend 20 minutes trying to figure out how it all fits in there. But after you get it, you're going to end up storing it in this bag, which is fine, but there is some sheets in here which, as you can see, they get kind of bent up after a period of time. And what you're going to do is, as you can imagine in a mini golf game, is set up a course using these pieces that are out of wood that are just simply gorgeous, really well done quality. It's got some screws in it. The varnish side, the painted course. Now you just sit there and keep making your course however you want. And let's say you just do a little simple one like this. And then everybody takes their turn. They take a ball and see how many times it takes to get in the hole. And then for the next hole, you can keep continuing. It comes with a little rule book, just basics on how to do it. But as you can imagine, if you ever play mini golf, you know how to play. It's in pretty much every language. On the back is a handful of setup designs. Now, if you go on their Facebook page, last I heard that they were still doing is every week they put out some different little designs, and they also had like a little contest where you can, if you do your own design, you can send them in a video of you playing it and you get your best shots, kind of almost like a little challenge thing. Comes a little dry eraser board so you can keep track. So I guess you could do probably 10 at a time if you're using both sides, and it comes with a dry eraser marker, a handful of wooden balls, a little rag to wipe the dry eraser off. Comes with one pen, and it comes with a little flag, which we found that we just toss that. If anything, it just gets in the way. If you want that as part of your challenge. Now, as you can imagine, this game requires a table to be as close to perfectly level as possible in each direction. Well, it comes with these little pads where you can use it. They get little instructions on putting them under there to kind of help level it. Personally, I'm not a fan of these. Only reason is they're out of this foam and they compress. And I found that as you play it, especially if you're kind of leaning on it to get to your shot, you're kind of pressing down on these, and I find they do work, but as it goes, they slowly get compressed down, and your table becomes unlevel again. Now, the little obstacles are out of plastic. They had explained during their Kickstarter everything was going to be wood, but as they went through the process of getting everything made, these weren't being made at good enough quality, and sturdiness, which I for these pieces, I'm fine that they're not out of wood. I think the bridge probably could have been out of wood. I've seen little Thomas the Train sets with these out of wood, but I could understand these being thin like this, not doing that, and these basically snap in, and it causes either a little obstacle or a little hole that has to be, you try to make it through. As you, like I said, you set these up and they interlock real nice and easy, and children can do it without a problem. You pick one of the balls. Now, if you notice, it might be a little hard to tell, but there's various different sizes. There has been some complaints. Mine aren't too bad, but these are hand crafted balls, so they are not perfectly round. And this is done on purpose from what they say. This is so that when you do it, it does this little wobbly thing sometimes, and that's supposedly to add to the challenge of it. Now, some people are some are a little more extreme than others. Some are kind of like football-y. Yeah, as you can see, that one there really, really wobbly. Most of my, some of them are a little better than others. You kind of learn, but there's also different sizes. I'm not really sure why they did different sizes. Maybe because of something like this hole. The big ones can barely fit, where the little ones, you got a little more room. For those of you who are thinking like I thought, possibly putting a marble, yes, a marble will work. But you better make sure this table is exactly level, because the marbles will go to the spot. What I do is, whenever I play, I call this my pro series, when we play with the marbles, because they're perfectly round, so your shots are going to be exactly how you aim them. My one thing was kind of surprisingly on this is Plakks also makes a game, which I'll be doing a review on, called Plakks Football, which is a soccer game for us Americans in which you're going back and forth. Now, on the football one, it has this, I don't know if you can quite see, but it has this almost felt that's on it. And when you play on here, the balls are so, they don't go crazy as much. And if you use like even like the marble type, they're not as much. That was probably the only other gripe I had, is I wish they would have used that same type of felt on here, and I think the balls would have moved better. Now that may not have been done because they may not have been able to cut it exactly right. I'm not too sure, but those little gripes aside of the not being able to go back in the original box too well, and the balls, that's it's kind of however you want to look at it. It's kind of part of the game. The components, excellent, except for the balls. The little obstacle parts are fun. The ramp is probably our second least favorite. This one here, this volcano, we used it 1 or 2 games and we've never used it again. We do not like that volcano at all. It is, you're trying to go up this thing and it's at such a sharp angle. It is hard not to keep this thing from flying off the table and having to go chase it all over the room multiple times. This ramp ain't too bad because usually you can put it where you're thinking is best. But with this thing sitting here like this, balls are flying everywhere, and we just did not care for it at all. The ramp was great. These little blockers are fun and aggravating. There are some, if you notice, some of these, like this one, do not have the little side, so you got to be careful when you come around that you don't hit. And again, it's a great little flick'em game that you're probably sitting there thinking, why didn't I think of that? Because I mean, it's almost an obvious thing to make into a flick'em game, a little golf game. And you got all kinds of crazy stuff. You got this tee here, and then if you want, and like in the case I did, is I actually got 2 sets of these. With 2 sets, you can make this huge course on your table. You're just limited by your imagination and the side of your table. But other than that, it's a pretty good game. Really fun for the younger kids. The adults will enjoy it too, but there will, like I said, the misshaped balls will probably frustrate some people. So if you can find marbles, which is surprisingly hard thing to do, you may want to try try using marbles if you can find them, and if your table is flat enough or level enough, I should say. And that's pretty much Pitch and Plakks. So remember to comment, like, and subscribe below. Thank you.